Hey.
Long time, everyone. Welcome to Friday Night Six Pack. Interesting one tonight. Definitely an interesting one. Our first one in about 7 weeks, I think. So I don't know about you all, but I've had a pretty.
We've had a 7-week itch.
I know. Yeah. These things happen. These things happen. So, Jake, good to see you, brother. What's going on?
Hey, buddy. I'm good. How about yourself?
Killing it, man. Killing it. Loving it. Life is good. Jen, tired, moving.
Tired, yeah.
I've
been doing so much work for the shift, or move as Americans prefer to say. We say both in Australia land, so Chris knows exactly what I'm talking about. If it's
I speak all the lingos. I speak all. Mr. and Mrs. Darth Dawkins, how are we?
You're a dick.
Well, you've only just worked that out.
Stop talking over him.
That's it. That is it. Amber, you have won the night. It's over. I'm going.
How did you beat me to it, Amber?
That is sensational. So, Amber, what's it like being married to Darth Dawkins?
I don't know. I never get to talk. I'm always talking over him.
Does he try and mute you all the time, or?
Yeah.
Must be
I get
hard.
muted constantly. He's always holding the remote up. Mute, 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 mute.
Yeah, it's he probably saw that. What was that movie? Yeah.
Why do I put up with you?
Why? Why wouldn't you put up with us? I mean, you love us. What's not to love? We've had a 7-week break. Did you think that we weren't going to come back and torment you just a little bit?
I kind of feel.
A little bit. You could have.
I'm done. I'll let you talk.
All right, you may talk.
I knew it was going to be horrible.
Here we go. It never ends, does it? It never ends. Never ends.
It's been too long.
It has been.
When the great Miss Raven sent me shit like this, I knew it was going to be bad.
I just want to know, and we'll test it later. We'll see is it better than Vegemite. That's the what does Ed think? So just to let everyone know too, people might think it's a bit of a clickbaity headline or episode, but tonight is going to be the end of the Atheist Pastor. So I'm putting that out there. This is not a clickbait kind of thing. I've had a bit of time off. Look, you see these kind of things, and a lot of the time it's just clickbait to get people to come watch. No, this is it. The Atheist Pastor ends tonight. I've had about 7 weeks away, and I needed a break. I've got a heap of stuff going on. My life has been pretty intense last year, and I've shared a little bit of this with some people, but I'll probably open up a little bit more now. So in the last 12 months with COVID, I've lost 2 businesses, just businesses that under any normal circumstances would have been fine. With COVID, just not sustainable. So I think a few of you knew that I was doing or planning on doing my PhD in history. The businesses were basically funding a lot of that. So I've had to put my PhD on hold, change what I'm doing. I'm actually I've gone back to do a law degree now. So in a few years, I'll be a lawyer, because unfortunately the work for academics isn't always that guaranteed, with a lot less sort of financial backing. Yeah, you got to play these things safe. So it's been a bit of an intense sort of time. So I just took some time away and just wanted to gather, what I was doing with a lot of things. And this was part of it, because this is something that I love doing. Like, this is something I seriously love doing, and it's been something that's probably kept me sane. But I kind of feel like I pigeonholed myself a little bit being Atheist Pastor. As Atheist Pastor, really, there's only so much stuff that I can do. There's only so much, anti-religion or, most of you get that
anti-religion
kind of stuff.
is boring very quickly.
Yeah, look, it's. I mean, I stopped watching the Atheist Experience ages ago because if you've seen one episode, you've seen them all. You know, they ring, they try and talk about God. Matt Delahunty yells at them, and all the people in the comments section act smarmy. You know, it's an overdone sort of thing. And look, there's a million other people who are doing content on religion. I'm still going to do some because it is a part of who I am, my journey, and what I do. But I think one thing that has been really hard for me is there was times where I almost lost who I was. Like instead of being Chris, I was being the Atheist Pastor. You know, I sort of, and it felt at times like I was unintentionally playing a role, which I mean, look, I was always, I mean, what you saw was what you got, but I was probably holding back on a few things, especially I guess in the Twitter atheist world or even the online atheist world. It seems to be, there's a bubble. I ain't in that bubble. I think anyone who knows me knows that my political views probably differ from 99% of Twitter. And I think I've just found myself biting my tongue, and it's caused me stress. And I kind of got inspired by Jay when he did his, he's went vow of silence. And he, when we were sort of chatting, and we didn't go online and do anything, but he just seemed to have a bit of clarity. And I thought, well, maybe I need a bit of time away as well. Had that little bit of time away, and I think I just need to be more of me and just see where that goes. Now there'll be some atheist related content because it is a part of my life, but there's other stuff I want to talk about too. I mean, I'm also a massive nerd. I want to talk about nerdy shit. Sucked in, Ed. I'll bring you in for that one. I want to talk about more general stuff, things that are going on in the world. Not everything has to have an atheist lens. Plus, I'm not anti-religion. And that's something I think that's a problem in I guess a lot of what you see online. Like people are so anti-religion. As far as I'm concerned, if it makes someone feel better to believe something, good luck to them. I don't believe it. Everyone has different beliefs. Plus, it probably was I was probably being a little bit of a hypocrite hosting an atheist show with a Buddhist as a co-host.
Yeah,
but there was no way I was ever going to get rid of Jay because I love Jay.
Jay's amazing.
Who doesn't love Jay?
Who doesn't love Jay? There's a few people I can.
There is. I'm
guessing
there's a couple of them out there that don't like me.
Yeah. So I'm going to Friday Night Six Pack is still happening. The channel name I'm going to slowly transition. I sort of played around with it before. It's gonna Hereticals. I think which is actually an anagram of my name, and it kind of, it doesn't move away from where I've been, because I'm a heretic, I guess. But it's sort of, I think it just allows me to do, I don't know, some different stuff. I don't know. Who knows? I'm just kind of, I feel like I'm sort of surfing and I'm just waiting for the right wave. And I'm just, in the meantime, though, I'm just going to sort of catch what I can and just have some fun. And look, if people want to come along for the journey, cool. Come along for the journey. What I do know is, it's, I feel good. Like I feel really, really good. I'm completely at peace with things. I went off Twitter for like about 4 or 5 weeks. Holy shit. That was so good for my mental health. Like seriously, it's, I know it's, I know I'm in the minority here, but try being a conservative on Twitter. Fuck. Some of the shit that I see and some of the hypocrisy I see and just virtue signaling. Fuck, I hate virtue signaling. Like seriously, it's like there's a different cause every week, and it's the biggest. Look at me, look at me, look at me. And most of the people who are virtue signaling couldn't give a rat's ass about the cause.
That's the biggest problem I have. The number of, especially in the atheist community, which seems to be worse in the atheist community than outside of it, where, oh, hang on, there's this group that we should be fighting for. Let's fight for it. And then they don't give a fuck about it any other time of the year. If you don't give a fuck about it then, stop giving a fuck about it now because you're not helping.
Exactly. Give a fuck 12 months of the year. Not just for the one day that
not
it's
just for the one day of the year or the 1 month of the year where it's celebration for this thing. Give a fuck all the time because if a cause is worth giving a fuck about for one day of the year, it's worth giving a fuck about for the rest of them.
And really, it's when people are doing that, it's attention seeking. It's just it's
Why have I got
attention-seeking.
someone in mind when we're talking about this?
Now,
we're probably thinking of the same person.
Same person, yeah.
Along with that, I've come across a whole new subject matter that's piqued my interest, and I've
Not
actually
eugenics, is it?
no.
Dianetics?
No. I've started.
He's more into the magical underwear, I think.
Well, I've started to talk about a few things with some of the First Peoples and indigenous cultures here in the States. And there are some really big issues that I think are important. So I've kind of jumped on board and like, hey, tell me more about this. I want to know about this. And I've started to promote, some of their causes. And I've actually had people tell me, oh, all of a sudden, you want to be Native American. And it's like, who the fuck said that? Yeah, like, no, I didn't say I wanted to be Native American. I'm trying to promote this cause. Scrapbook. And it's like Jen just said, now all of a sudden I have these people like, oh, you're just doing this for attention. And it's like, no.
Yeah, but most of these fuckwits, I bet you that they've got, if you have a look at their bio, they've probably got every fucking acronym of every fucking thing and every ally this and that, all that kind of bullshit that they just.
If
they
you're an
put
ally,
there
you're
seriously
not
for
just
attention.
an ally when it suits you. You're an ally all the time. If you're not an ally all the time, you're not being an ally.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the thing is, you don't need to be an ally for every cause as well. I mean, look, there's causes that I just stay away from.
Without being an ally, you can be supportive of people. And you don't say, well, I'm supportive. I'm not necessarily saying I'm an ally, because allies are active. Like people who are activists, allies are amongst that. So if you're not an activist, you can be supportive, but you're not necessarily an ally.
I mean, look, there's a cause that I deeply support, which is the banning of the Blues Brothers, but I don't go out and actively promote that. Oh, sorry, Jay, what were you saying?
I didn't say nothing.
But anyway, I've seen, I think Mikey's actually got it right with what he's put here. Twitter's literally not worth it. Show me funny dog videos. I miss the old day where YouTube was just cat videos.
I've got a question for Ed though. Are you Grandolph the grey? Grandolph the grey. And after you wash your underwear, do you become Grandolph the white?
Unbelievable.
The slip of the tongue was funnier than the actual joke. Damn it!
It was. That was good. You'll get cancelled for that. Actually, speaking of cancelled, something else I'm going to put out there. So there's a few people in the atheist community who have been trying to cancel me for a while. Okay, there's 4 in particular that I know of that really I haven't had anything to do with for quite a while. But I'm forever hearing from people that they're still carrying on, still wanting to. Look, I'm just going to put this out there. I'm not going to name and shame you, and I'm not going to go after you because you probably want the attention. But keep it up, and yeah, it's on. Look,
it's on.
I really, it's the funny thing is these are people that I moved on from like a long time ago, and I kind of laugh. It's every time I hear such and such is still trying to cancel you and said this and said that. And I know it's not just people gossiping because I hear it from multiple sources, which kind of makes me laugh too, that the trusted confidence of these people, they're coming and telling me. So it's
what trusted confidence? I mean, in all honesty, if you want your business known by the most number of people, tell somebody on Twitter.
Exactly. And
even if it's done in a DM, the chances are it's going to be told to every fucking person that there is.
Exactly. But it cracks me up because I'm like, I haven't even thought of this person for all the people whenever it pops up for they're not even on my radar until someone mentions, oh yeah, they're still trying to cancel you, and they were talking about doing this and talking about. I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like, get a life, you losers. Seriously, get a life. Like, fuck, I've moved on. I think and if you think if you're thinking of someone that it might be, it probably isn't. unless you know something I don't know, or maybe it is, I don't know.
Well, we do know something, because then we would know who it is.
Well, that's it. I don't know. Maybe there's more than 4. I mean, who isn't trying to cancel me, I guess. But no, look, look after this, it's there might be more people trying to cancel me. I think Jay will probably want to get rid of me. But you love me too much. But anyway, just a shout out to those people who are trying to cancel me. Go fuck yourselves. I don't give a shit.
Well, you said you'd be canceled. You said you'd be canceled by 9:35, and it's like 9:46. So
I know.
I said give it a week.
You failed.
I said give it a week.
Although Gary's already said you're cancelled, so.
Well, I did get back on Twitter today, and I've been having a bit of fun on Twitter. So I'm not going to lie. It's only it's a matter of time.
Just to let you know, Amber and I are only here because of Jen and Jay. So,
hey, hang on! I didn't even realize you were here because of Jen. I just thought it was like your man crush with Jay.
Well, that's
the bromance. The bromance going.
You didn't think I was going to be here, and it has to be all about Jay.
It's always
as soon as Jay's like, "Hey, we're going to do 6-pack this week," I'm like, "Yeah, Jay, let's do 6-pack." Then Ed's all of a sudden, I'll be there. You're going to be there, Jay.
I'm only here for Jay as well.
Creepy, actually. It's a bit creepy. I mean, I'm wondering if, like, when the light, when the cameras are off, if that's not a shrine to Jay behind you. I mean, you're talking about, sort of, having some, thinking about things and all that. I'm thinking it's Jay.
Does that, if that's true, Chris, does that mean that Pooh is Ed's affectionate name for Jay?
Maybe. That would make sense. I mean, it's. And how do you feel about this? What's it like with your husband having a pretty massive man crush on Jay?
Well, at least he's being honest about it. He never hides it from me.
Really,
it's good. It's honesty's everything. So it's it always. You know what I love? It's. Even when we're, it's just in the side chat or something else, the one person who roasts Ed better than anyone is Amber. Like, seriously, like we are not worthy. Like you are the master when it comes to the roast. So it's always fun. It's always fun. Some fuckwit on.
Listen, I've been run over by so many buses since we got married. It's
why is it that guy? It shouldn't be that other guy.
And only 3 of them that Amber's been driving, of course. Yeah. So anyway,
the great Amber and that guy in the blue t-shirt.
I don't even think we need Ed on, to be honest. I mean, awesome. There we go. Ed's been cancelled. Ed, something I do want to talk about. I mean, I was watching your channel the other day, and man, I'm going to pick you up on something because you were wrong. You were massively wrong. So a claim was made, and you had the audacity to ask for evidence.
I know, right?
What's wrong with you?
You know better than that.
Yeah, I mean, what's wrong with you? I mean, it's up to you to prove him wrong. I mean,
no.
He made the claim.
No, according to him, it's up to me to find the evidence to prove myself wrong. What?
Yeah. It's like when you hear the religious people say, well, in your heart. So Jeff reckons that, Ed, you've actually got a massive crush on me. That's why you did the whole Darth Dawkins thing. Makes sense. I have a debate with Darth Dawkins. A week later, Ed shows up. Just happens to sound exactly like him. Happens to know his lines.
I think there's a con going on here.
Yeah. So I think
do a quick Google search at the very beginning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he said to Google it. It's like, okay.
Yeah. We're still waiting on that quick Google search.
Yeah.
Just take a minute.
No. You had to do the quick Google search.
No. He said he was doing it as we were talking.
Yep.
And he was going to post the link for it. I'm still waiting.
Well, I've been conversing with him. He's keen to do the debate. He's an odd dude, though. But anyway, good luck to him. I did promise him that I'd mention it to you. And
I'll debate him on a moderated channel. Because then he can't just try and bulldoze over me and, give me a bunch of freaking ad hominems and shit.
Well, we'll tee it up. I'll chat to you afterwards. Gary, if you can get me a long black with 2 sugars, mate, that would be sensational. Gary's getting coffees. Anyone who wants a coffee, just let Gary know in the chat there. So all fun. And yeah, Scummer, you missed it. It was, go back and watch it. Like, I'll put the link in after. So anyone who's watching this in the future, I'll put the link in. I came in late, and I think I watched about 2 minutes. I was like, this guy is a fucking wanker. Like,
I couldn't stay. I kept popping in and out.
Yeah, like a minute later, Ed just goes, "No, I'm done." Kicks him, and everyone's going, "Oh, you rage quit." And Ed's like, "No, I kicked him." I was like, "Yeah, I do the same. I don't blame you." So,
yeah, well, like I told everybody, I'm not going to let him sit there and just spew off all this freaking racist crap. Like, I'm not platforming that. If you want to have an actual conversation, and
I can't believe he called you the N-word. That was unbelievable.
Oh yeah, that. Listen. He came back into my DMs after I kicked him and started going back and forth with me. And I'm like, listen, you have no fucking respect for anybody. I'm not going to platform shit like that. And if you keep calling me a coward, dude, tell me where you want to meet and I'll show you how much of a coward I am. And
but people like that, they're all fucking talk.
Yeah, well, he literally sent me I'm a super genius. I'm smart enough not to pick a fight with an N-word like you.
Oh, God.
And I lost my
anyone who's
mind.
going to call themselves a super genius is obviously below average intelligence.
Yeah.
Except for me, I'm a super genius. But
I did post that video.
Yeah, you proved the point, Chris.
I was waiting for someone to get that then. See, it was my super genius brain. But who the fuck sends someone the message going, I'm a super... I mean, what's the difference between a regular genius and a super genius? Like, is it an IQ thing? Is it I don't know, because what I saw, I wasn't seeing a lot of super genius.
No.
I was seeing a lot of something.
Well, Raven said he was like getting drunk, like drinking straight from the bottle itself.
Yeah.
Like, that's some hardcore drinking right there.
Yeah, he was freaking hammered.
Well, when you're a super genius, I guess you gotta do these things. Where do you find these people, Ed? Seriously.
I listen, somebody what's his name? The Trusty Ape, Kevin Lentini.
Kevin Chaos.
He put something up on Twitter and asked me, hey, what do you think about this lady here? Because she had posted some straight up, far right-wing bullshit. And I'm like, I'm not even debating this crap today. Like, that's so played out. It's been debunked. I don't know how many times. People just don't want to listen to actual, intelligence. And this girl, Deidre, came back and said, well, it is a valid question. And I'm like, okay, all questions are valid regardless. Like, it's nonsense. It's not proven. And she wanted to start posting all the links for the FBI arrests from 2019 all the way back to like 2010. And I'm like, arrests aren't convictions. You can't say people are violent because they got arrested. Anybody can get arrested until they're convicted and it's proven that they committed.
Aside from that, you have to look at the reasons why there might be more arrests, and that can be social profiling, that can be due to other hardships. If you come from a lower socioeconomical level, you're more likely to get arrested.
No, according to these two, it's because black people have more testosterone.
Yeah, no, he said that's just bullshit. You couldn't prove
hang on. It's a fucking skin pigmentation, for Christ's sake. Like it's you know what, and here's something. Here's a fucking revelation for everyone. There's no such thing as black people. There's no such thing as white people. We're all brown. We are all brown. It's just some have a lighter shade of brown, some have a darker shade of brown. There's a number of factors such as diet, where you grew up, genetics.
You can have people with no pigment who are almost white, not really brown.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to argue with you on that too, because if you're looking at my beautiful wife, she's pretty white.
I don't know. She's got a bit of blue kind of tinge at the moment.
My son's a 6'4" ginger, and he says he's clear.
but the reality is, we're all you
peel off the skin, and we all look the same.
All of us here, we're a very light shade of brown, and that's because our ancestors at some point were in a European climate. Our ancestors also developed farming and agriculture. Like the inhabitants of England 6,000 years ago, Scandinavia, you wouldn't be able to differentiate them from someone who is from the middle of Africa. It was, but the main thing that turned the skin color was the change in diet. We actually started getting sicker because we started living with animals. We started farming animals. It's where the lighter your skin is, probably the unhealthier technically we are. Plus, we also Europeans mingled with Neanderthal.
Hey, Chris.
There are minor differences between different people of different ethnic backgrounds within our genome, and they are minor.
Very minor. And a lot of that's due to other species of humans.
Hey, Chris.
Developing lactose tolerance is a European thing because we have more milk because of the farming, so it was an evolutionary trait that came strong in Europeans. But in general, there's fuck all difference between us. It's just why we can breed with each other.
Exactly. We're the same species.
For anybody who doesn't know, this is Cheddar Man. He was found in England.
Yeah. Yep.
And I mean, there's less differences between humans than there are between dogs.
Yeah. Well, I think our closest relation's the chimpanzee.
If you ask any religious person, all dogs are dogs.
Well, they're all a kind. It's what kind
they're all a kind. Yes.
Oh, hang on. I'm going to say not all religious people. I can tell you, there's a lot of. If you look at all religious people as Kent Hovind loving fundies.
Douche canoes.
Yeah, douche canoes is probably a good. Look, actually, I say that, and I actually know some people who are young Earth creationists and who do like Kent Hovind stuff, who are some of the nicest people you'd ever want to meet. Like so, I've got a friend of mine. He's, we knew each other from back in the church days, and he's always hopeful that one day I'll come back into the fold, and we get on. He's probably one of the only few people I'd say is like genuine from back in those days. He loves Hovind. We used to watch Hovind together. Like, that was it. That's what
the reality
men who go to church together watch Hovind together.
The reality is there's more differences between each human race, less differences between each human race than there are between people within a race. Individually, those of us who are of European stock, we're vastly different, and we're all considered white. It's just
well, even if you and this is something interesting that I heard. You'll find that people who are from the southern, like the Mediterranean region, are more likely to have hairier chests. And the reason behind that is because people from the Mediterranean region are more likely to have a higher concentration of Neanderthal. So people who are from Asia, and actually, funnily enough, Indigenous Australians have a higher concentration of Denisovian. So it's like there was something like 14 or 15 different species of humans at one point, even up to as as 10,000 years ago. But good old Homo sapien wiped them out. That's our thing, I think.
We didn't wipe. Homo sapiens didn't wipe them out. We all interbred so much that it all became one mixed pot.
No, not okay. So if you look at Neanderthals, it wasn't us going and killing the Neanderthals necessarily, but us coming into what would have been traditionally Neanderthal hunting areas, and because we were superior, we were bigger, faster, stronger.
But we definitely interbred with them, and we bred them out because
to a smaller. We're only about, so Europeans have got about 3% Neanderthal DNA.
Yeah, there were also more Neanderthals than there. More Homo sapiens than there were Neanderthals. So
that's correct. Yeah.
So when they came in droves, there was more of them. So of course, there ended up less genetic pool for the Neanderthals anyway, regardless. But it was less about warfare and more about breeding and taking over hunting grounds and stuff.
Funnily enough, what they found is that and I don't know how they possibly know this, but this is one of the things I learned in one of my archaeology classes actually back in the day. It was more likely for Neanderthal men to breed with Homo sapien women. Funnily enough, but yeah. Now here's a question, and no one Googled this. Do you know where the most recent Neanderthal has been found, and where they think that Neanderthals was probably the last place that Neanderthals occupied?
Isn't it somewhere in Indonesia or something?
Oh no! Neanderthals went.
Didn't get that far.
Nope. Gibraltar.
Oh, okay.
Gibraltar. Yep. So there was a few. There was like the Hobbit species was in Indonesia. So there was actually
the Hobbits.
But there was another one in Indonesia that was similar height to Homo sapiens, and they did a similar thing where it was mixed breeding and hunting ground takeover by, and there's those genes within our gene pool as well.
So this is good. So this is the one little bit of science I don't mind talking about because it mixes in with my history stuff. Although now I've got to forget all the history stuff and just get into the legal arguments for it all. It's a fun one.
Are they called lawyers in Australia or solicitors?
Solicitors. Oh well, the both is used, but technically solicitors and I guess senior, that is barrister, and then senior barrister, or it used to be called a Queen's Counsel. Which is just like really, really good lawyers.
So like partners in the US.
No, it's
partners and senior partners.
It's a you can have a law firm here where the most senior person is a solicitor. So to be a barrister, you've got to be a specialist in a particular. So you might be, say, a criminal barrister who specializes in murder charges. That might. So you specialize in that. A senior counsel or senior barrister, what used to be called a Queen's Counsel. There's like a handful of them. That's like the top. So the big cases, things that'll be in front of the High Court. That's they'll go and argue there. So it's slightly different to the US.
Oh, there it goes.
So Amber thinks I ought to try one of these nasty ass sodas back here.
Right, now let's have a look at what I want to do is we've got these sodas and I actually want to throw it to the chat to decide which one you're going to have first. So we saw
really
the ranch.
Chris and I don't have to try them.
It's great. It's sensational. I'm just going to sit back and sip on water. So we saw the ranch. So what are the options we've got?
Oh, we've got pumpkin pie. We'll make that number one.
All right. So these are all sodas. Yep. So pumpkin pie at number one.
Buffalo wing soda.
And we can blame Raven for this one.
Sorry, hang on 1 second, everyone. I'm just jumping off.
Peanut butter and jelly.
That
could be number 3.
Oh, disgusting.
Sweet corn for number 4.
And it looks like syrup too.
Ranch dressing.
Oh, now that sounds nice. I like ranch dressing, so I'd probably drink that.
And
bacon.
Bacon.
That could be nice, maybe.
So,
all right, Chad. 1 through 6. Which one do you want to see first?
1 through 6. What am I drinking first? We'll give it a minute. Let everybody put their votes in.
Gary, what is it?
Gary's voting bacon. Jen's voting the third one, which was
I
What was
think
the third
third
one?
was
Peanut butter jelly.
peanut butter and jelly.
yeah, because that sounds revolting.
There's another. We got a one for ranch. We've got another one for bacon.
No, okay, so I'm just going to put this out there. Don't vote for bacon because we know bacon is awesome. Right, bacon is going to be good. We want to see
good in soda form.
We
good in
want
everything.
to
It's good in
see Ed scrunch up his face in agony.
I mean, as much as I love ranch sauce, I'm thinking ranch sauce soda. Maybe not.
Raven
really-
says peanut butter
I
and
really-
jelly.
I really want to see the pumpkin one.
I want to see the peanut
pie.
butter and jelly because I can't imagine that's anything other than disgusting.
Oh, it's going to be good. Might be like a nice satay.
Yeah, no.
All right,
I love
so-
how
Jam and peanut butter
Americans.
is-
I love how
ugh.
Americans call it jelly. It's that cracks me
Yeah.
up. It's jam. It's
No.
jam.
There's
Your proper
actually-
jelly is
there-
fucking
in
nice.
the U.S. There's different. You have jelly and you have jam.
Yeah.
They're
Really?
two
What's
different
the
things.
bloody
Yep.
difference?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Jelly is not as thick as jam.
Okay.
See, because jelly for us is like a gelatin. Like it's a
Yeah.
jelly, I guess.
It's like
I don't know.
ballistic
How do you
gel.
describe it?
Well, taking out bacon, we've got three votes for peanut butter and jelly.
I'm thinking that's going to be the winner. See, I'll show you. I'll show you what our jelly is here. So, just to
Have you got them as well, Jay?
Oh yeah, I got them too.
I reckon you should drink the ranch.
Oh, I'm gonna try the peanut butter and jelly.
Are you going to do the peanut butter and jelly? Does it?
Yes,
What's it
you're
smell
gonna
like?
borrow.
Damn,
I'll be right back.
Does that smell nice?
That actually smells really good. Huh? That peanut butter and jelly one actually smells good.
and are you just saying that so he has
No,
it?
no, actually, that actually smells pretty good.
I don't believe you.
Trying to see.
Right, so I'll bring up. I'm going to show you all what. If I can find a decent sized picture, hang on.
Hey,
I'm just gonna
Randolph.
do the best with what I've got. All right, so this is in Australia. This is what we would have as jelly. So hang on, I'll share a screen and make sure there's nothing incriminating on there. We're good. I hate it when it does. Okay, well you get the idea.
That's Jello.
That's jelly.
Okay. All right. Well, we call that jelly. So for us, whenever you Americans start talking about jelly, it's just
Why
like,
is
hang
that
on.
clicking?
Jello jelly.
Right.
I think it's a new thing. I think sometimes when you share from certain sites on StreamYard, it does that, and I think it's because it's to stop people sharing, like TV shows and Netflix and videos.
Smell it, Ed. Ed,
All
smell
right.
it.
Peanut
Smell
butter
it.
jelly.
Smell it.
first.
Smells all right.
Yeah, I said it doesn't smell bad.
Okay, here we go.
That's not that bad.
Yeah, it's missing something.
Well, you've gone back for a second sip.
Flavor.
So, bread.
It's missing bread, yeah.
It doesn't really
Uh.
taste like peanut butter though.
No, it doesn't taste like jelly either. Almost like if you had like an orange soda and just let it sit for a while.
Yeah.
That's what it tastes like.
You know what we need? We need to get you all some Vegemite soda.
Oh, that one's not bad.
All right,
All
so
right,
that's actually,
so
I'm disappointed. I was looking forward to Ed having that shocked, horrified look that he.
oh no,
But he had
that's
with the-
coming with. We're gonna do ranch dressing next.
Oh,
Ranch.
Okay, ranch. All right, let's try this. Let's
Ed
try
wanted to try the bacon.
this. Save the bacon till last. All right.
Oh,
Hey!
Yes, that was
oh,
meat.
oh my god!
We have a tradition in Australia, and Jen, you can help me out with this one. Skull.
Skull.
Skull. Skull.
Oh my god!
No. Ha.
The one who finishes this last has to drink the next one all on their own.
No.
Oh,
Oh, that's
Well,
God.
let's spill it.
brilliant.
No. No.
Damn. All right. Well, it's going to be tough to top that, but
Give me that bucket.
all right. Well,
Ugh.
it was
right there.
Oh my
it was
god!
actually commented that that ranch goes with wings. So I think it's time for the hot wing sauce.
Oh my
That's-
god! Damn,
Fucking disgusting.
that's horrible.
And yes, that was worse than Vegemite.
Oh wow. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I'll Vegemite over any day. Oh,
oh,
oh.
that's awesome. That was the reaction we wanted.
That's-
You could always
you know
wash
what?
it down with a bit of
Perfect.
peanut butter and jelly.
No, I washed it down with not your father's root beer. Oh, God, I can still
All right,
taste it.
Now, Amber, having seen that, are you game to try it?
All right.
You're gonna try it.
I get to
All
try
right.
the peanut butter jelly first, though, like everybody else.
Well, that you know what, that seems fair.
That's fair.
really
That's
seems
fair.
Maybe it's the peanut butter and jelly first, followed by the ranch that does it.
That's just weird.
Yeah.
It's
It's
like
super
it's
sweet.
well, I've seen on the thing. They're all made with pure cane sugar. So
Mm.
Okay, here we go. Ranch
smell,
dressing.
smell it first. Smell it first.
The ranch got tainted somewhere. Y'all a bunch of big babies. It's fine.
That's just wrong.
Oh, see, this is Amber. Every week you're on six pack. I'm just putting that out there.
Oh,
All
All
right.
right.
Sweet corn.
No,
we-
we got to
we-
go.
no, we're
yeah,
not
hot
doing
wing.
But
Hot
it has
wings.
to be
No,
sickeningly
wings.
sweet.
no.
isn't
We're supposed to do the wing next.
Oh,
do the wings.
wings next.
Yeah.
it? Wings and ranch.
Wings go with
yeah.
ranch. Yeah.
That's not as bad as the feet one from before.
The feet one. I like that. No, nothing. A lot of silence. I mean, we've got some.
It kind of just tastes like a flat soda with
Yeah.
pepper in it.
Yeah.
So do you think it might taste better because you've just had the ranch?
No.
Anything
No.
would taste good after that ranch, right?
Oh, these are twist tops. Fuck. Do you know
No,
they were
'cause
twist
I-
tops?
I-
They're twist tops, Ed.
I've been using the palate cleanser.
Well, I've been prying them off, and they're fucking twist tops.
All right.
All right, now we
let's
can-
see. Hang on,
They are
Amber.
twist
Amber, what's your thoughts on the hot wings? Let's give the hot wings a go.
I won't be drinking the buffalo one.
No.
I get heartburn too bad.
Sweet, that's easy.
Fair enough.
That's all right. Really, we just want to see Ed get tortured, and I think
I'll try the
you're.
other ones, but the hot sauce is out. It's too early for me to get mega heartburn.
Yeah.
All right. So
I
what
just-
do we got? What do we got left? We got corn, pumpkin, and
We got corn, pumpkin pie, and bacon.
well, bacon's last. We know bacon's last.
So are we doing the corn or the pumpkin pie?
We're doing the corn. If I can get this damn thing open.
No one can argue with that.
Hey, I have an official, tells you how long I've had this. It's an official Gears of War 2 bottle opener. So any video
Oh,
gamers
wow.
out there know it's an old ass bottle opener. That smells like corn. Like when you
I was
open up
thinking it probably would.
when you open up
Oh,
like
yeah.
a can of corn.
Yeah. Tastes like fizzy corn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I'm guessing that's really sweet.
No.
No,
No.
No, not particular, but
It tastes like corn.
it's
So
kinda
what
nasty,
is
though.
what is it? Is it like is it infused or?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just tastes like corn. It's just
Because I know, like where I live, we've got a vodka infusion bar, and they've got like every flavor of vodka you can imagine.
Hey, Jay,
Huh?
did you actually read the labels on these?
No.
I just noticed something at the bottom of this sweet corn. It says, "Y'all get your fixins."
You all get your
Yeah,
fixins,
they all
right?
say y'all get
But you
your
got left bacon.
We have bacon
No,
and
pumpkin
pie.
pumpkin. So pumpkin pie is next.
Okay.
I don't like pumpkin pie.
So far, they've only had one gross one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm thinking what we need to do is we need to have some kind of competition between them. The loser's got to drink the ranch.
Yeah.
All right, pumpkin pie. Let's.
It doesn't smell like pumpkin pie though. It smells cinnamony.
You don't put cinnamon on pumpkin pie?
I don't
Yeah,
eat
but
pumpkin
not that
pie.
much.
I don't eat pumpkin pie, so
If it's too cinnamony, it's not going to be very nice.
I'll be honest. I've never had pumpkin pie in my life.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna drink this. That's a lot of cinnamon.
So it was so good that that Ed froze.
Did you not like that, Jay?
No, God, no. Oh. Not as bad as the ranch, but it's damn near close.
I don't know. Nowhere near the ranch. It's what are those them cinnamon candies, the little round hot ones?
Red Hots.
Red Hots. Yeah, it tastes like a Red Hot. It tastes like cinnamon candy. So I don't know if you want to try it or not, because that cinnamon's probably gonna.
Is it? I'll give it a go because I backed out on the buffalo wing.
No, just take a sip. It's a lot of cinnamon.
Yeah, it is. It does smell like cinnamon candy.
So Ed, the question is out there. That's not a happy look from Amber. That is not a happy.
Yeah, you don't even taste the
Oh,
pumpkin.
it's always coffee.
I know it's obvious, but I just thought we'll get it out there. It's it is definitely the. All right, so we've gotten through
All right,
all of them. Now it's time for bacon.
All that's
bacon.
left is
Liquid,
bacon.
liquid bacon.
Ed, they're twist tops.
Yeah, well, I can't get them off, so
These old people always use. Oh, okay.
We have
Okay,
another.
I'm looking for. Yes. All right. Let's
Oh,
it smells musty.
if you
That
say
bacon
so.
went off. It's probably smoked
do it. All
bacon.
right.
Oh.
Could be smoked.
All right. Bottoms up.
Rancid
Bottoms up,
bacon.
lads.
Oh.
Oh,
We have a loser.
Oh,
Was that
wow.
worse than the ranch, was it?
Oh, God. I'm not sure which one's worse.
ugh.
Oh,
Oh, that was brilliant.
You can have it.
So
No,
bacon.
no, I don't want it.
Bacon or ranch?
which one's worse?
It's like a mouthful of salt. Ugh.
I don't know.
It must be worse because Amber didn't like the bacon either. And she was okay
Thank
with
you,
the ranch.
Kelly.
All right. So what we need to think of some kind of challenge
Hi,
where
Granny.
I think the loser might have to drink the bacon.
Oh.
I don't know.
We'll
See,
work it out. We'll work it out.
I think the ranch was worse than the bacon. The bacon just tasted like really salty.
Well, you've just So you've just had the bacon. So the bacon is fresh in your mind.
I'm
Quick
not
sip of the
drinking
ranch.
ranch again. Fuck you.
I'm not even open that
Damn it,
someplace back up.
We almost got there. It's
Oh, God.
I think Ed's just saying that the ranch is worse
Ranch is definitely the worst.
So the ranch
one.
is the worst. So what do you reckon, Jay?
Damn you,
What's your
Raven.
vote?
Ugh.
Okay, well there we go. So what was the best of them?
Peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the first. See, I really thought the bacon would be the one that had that nice
Samuel
infusion.
is a sadist.
Mr. Ranch with the bacon.
You know what?
Oh,
Do it. Hey, do
No, I'm done.
it. So the challenge apparently next week is jelly juice.
Chili juice. Chili juice.
I'm sorry. No, that's way too much sodium. But Ed, according to her, that should be able to fix your back. It can regrow limbs.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. It'll rebuild my bones.
Yeah, it'll regrow limbs and everything.
That's good. Is that the latest thing? Hey, what was it? Is Kent Hovind pushing some kind of medical cure at the moment?
He's
I
always
haven't heard
pushing
anything.
Like
some kind of
avocados, or some kind of seed or apricot seeds or some shit like that's actually carcinogenic.
Ow. Just kick me in the nuts.
I was trying to get away from your ranch smelling breath.
Yeah, I'm going to ask. Are you going to want to kiss him after that? I'm thinking not.
Oh,
I'm thinking
man.
not. Actually, you've got a good excuse now, Amber, to not have to kiss him. I think that's a
Nasty
win.
ass aftertaste.
Yeah.
Just won't go away.
Excellent. So we're told it's B17 that he's pushing. Okay. Well, good luck.
Kelly wants to know what you're drinking.
Well, that was. We'll bring it back up. It's if one of you guys wants to maybe grab the ranch one because that or the bacon. Yeah, it's flavored soda. So it's yeah.
Lester's Fixins.
Fixins. That is such an American thing to say. A fixin.
Yeah, get your fixins.
Is that like an all-round American thing, or is that just like a southern?
It's a southern.
thing or a
It's a
north thing?
southern American.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I know a lot of
Excellent.
Americans
Okay.
all.
What's that?
Sorry,
Dan?
that was.
Not if. I reckon that's a good way to cut back on your soda intake is to buy some ranch dressing.
Oh.
Well, I'll tell you what. For all the racists out there that want to say the South is rise again, not drinking shit like that, you ain't.
Maybe that's why they've they're all a bit wacky down there. Maybe it's that fixing.
Maybe that's what they're planning to use.
Gives them a good fixing.
Maybe that's what they're planning to use as their next weapons, because that shit'll fucking kill you.
God, that was nasty.
Now, okay, sarsaparilla is good. Do you have sarsaparilla in the States?
I'm drinking it now.
Oh, there you go.
Alcoholic
Root beer and sarsaparilla are a
I
little
thought you were
bit
drinking root beer.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, hang on. So
different.
root
It's a
beer,
little
sarsaparilla.
different, Jay. There is, yeah.
There's not much difference between the two. I've had both. And I can't. Well, for me,
Yeah.
I can't tell much difference between sarsaparilla and root beer.
Okay, so what about so ginger beer? Do you guys have ginger beer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like
No,
it.
I can't keep up with it all the American stuff.
Yeah, I like ginger beer, actually. You know, a lot of people say, it's got a weird taste. It's too strong or whatever. I actually like that over ginger ale. It's just, it's kind of hard to find where we're at. Like, I don't really see it very
Burners. Do you get burners?
Yeah.
often.
Ed, you don't got burners? Must
No.
be just Michigan thing then.
No,
Michigan-
I've seen burners, in other places. They just don't have it around here where I'm at.
What about Fago?
Yeah.
No,
That's a juggalo thing.
you've lost me. Actually, you know what? There's an idea in the chat there. A Hovind Pale Ale. That you know what? That would be worth brewing. Kent Hoven's Pale Ale.
There's a good idea. My
Yeah,
Zane, my the 6'4" ginger's 21 in what? What's today?
If you have
Today's
a
the
small
second
child in your bottle,
one in 14 days, and Raven said we need to get him some ginger beer for his 21st birthday. I'm gonna
Why
get
don't
him
you
fucking shit face hammered. I did it to all my other ones.
21.
maybe you should get him some ranch dressing.
Oh, he's gonna try all this
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
There ain't no doubt about that. Now put the
Yeah,
cap
yeah.
back on.
Tell him that's what a beer is, and he'll never drink again. Now, you have a bit of fun with that. It's, the 21 thing, that's always made me laugh about, the US, like the whole drinking in 21. If they tried to bring that in here, there'd be riots. Like, seriously, they would riot in the street. If it'd be probably a bunch of pissed 18-year-olds, but yeah, it's
Well, there's some places, if I remember it, and I don't quote me on this, but I think there's still some places where you can drink at 18.
well. See, it was funny. I was reading something about there's a golf club, and the entrance is to the golf club is in the US, but technically the golf club itself or part of the golf club is in Canada.
Mm.
So people go there at 18 and they can legally drink because they're technically in Canada.
Huh.
And there's a few funny places like that, apparently. A few of these sort of like leftover sort of
I burped.
even
Oh,
yeah, Jen, you've got some stuff going on at the moment. What's happening with you, Jen?
Because
tell us all about it.
Well, I'm moving house. I bought the bank owns a house. I managed to scrape together enough money with the help of family and that for a deposit and get a small loan to buy a bit of a rundown fixer-upper in a country town that's not too far from where most of my family live. And I'm moving come next Thursday. And for the last just over a month, I've been doing a fundraiser to help pay for some of the shifting costs because with my brother being sick, because he's got liver failure, he is unable to help, and I'm his carer at the moment. So I've been doing all the packing, all the moving, everything. And the plan was originally to try and shift everything ourselves. Well, basically myself with a little bit of help from family. But I did some a couple of weeks ago when I was down there, and I nearly did myself a major mischief trying to shift some stuff around. And it's like I came back from that saying, I cannot do this. I will kill myself if I try to do this. So got a quote from a removalist company. They're coming next Thursday to pick up, but I've also done a fundraiser to help pay for it because funds are pretty tight. I realize funds are tight for everybody at the moment.
Yeah. Couple of things I will say is, for those of you who are not in Australia, our cost of living and housing prices are ridiculously high. So the rundown house, and we won't talk about what Jen's paid for it, of course, but a rundown house in a small town is probably going to buy you almost a mansion in the US. Our cost of living is through the roof. I remember having a chat to some people in the US and hearing what they bought their houses for and almost having a heart attack because that wouldn't even cover a deposit here. We do have a phenomenally high housing cost. So there's also big distances involved. So the part of Australia that Jen lives in, I sort of jokingly say, she's moving 4 hours. I'm like, oh, that's one town over. There's probably not a lot in between, in all fairness.
Yeah, I mean, if you're heading down Albany Highway from Perth to Albany, the only big town you hit is Albany. Every other town on that road on the way down there is 6,000 people or less. And Mount Barker, the town I'm moving to, is one of those towns. But Mount Barker is only 50 kilometers away from Albany. So it's a half-hour drive because there's no traffic on that road, more or less. So it's a nothing. And most of my family is in Albany. There's a big hospital in Albany, which is great for Rob and his support. I mean, he'll have to come to Perth occasionally for some stuff, but it won't be that often. And it just means I'll have help there because the family will be closer. My daughter wanted to shift too because she wanted to be closer to her older sister. because I got two daughters. The oldest one lives in Albany and the younger one lives with me. And she wanted to be closer. And I was like, with most of my work drying up with COVID, it was like, now is the time to do it if I'm going to do it. And it worked out that it had to be that way because the house I live in is going to be sold because it needs to be sold because my cousin who owns it needs to raise the money back from it. So I would have been looking for a new house anyway. So it all kind of worked out, and it's something you just have to do. And I've got to get this house packed up and ready to go in less than a week.
I'm going to put this in perspective for those who aren't from the beautiful part of the planet. And Gary did make a very good point in the chat. Just make sure my home isn't set. Good. Well, it kind of shows roughly where I am, but if you can work out where I live from that, you're doing better than me. Okay, so Australia here is the size of Europe. Okay. Now, basically, all this not green stuff is desert. We've got a lot of it. The outback is pretty massive with not a lot in between.
Yeah.
The side, so Jen lives on what we call the backwards part of Australia. Whenever we talk about the time difference, because of how big it is, we say it's about 30 years and 3 hours behind. So when you set your clock back, you go back to the early 90s now, which is good. You're gonna love vanilla ice, Jen. You're gonna love vanilla ice. So Jen's on this side of the country. And to give you an idea, there's only this little bit here. Now, it mightn't look like much, but as we sort of zoom in, is Albany about there, isn't it? No.
Albany's crossed and down.
Yeah. Okay, so
there's
there's
down the
Albany.
bottom.
Right.
There's Albany.
There to there is about 4.5 hours.
Yeah, it's about 450 k. So yeah, about 4.5 hours if you can get a good run.
So that gives you a bit. So the cost of moving is pretty high, and obviously, I don't mind saying that Jen is moving for what I think are some pretty good reasons to help family, some very unselfish reasons. Yeah. So I would encourage, if anyone can help out, please do. If it's $1, if it's
every little bit helps.
Anything, and even if
I'm also planning on, because there's a lot of renovation work to be done to the house. I'm also planning on taking film footage of some of the renovations and actually putting them online as a show of what I'm doing. So it should be interesting.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, in all fairness, I think there's enough white people doing renovation shows.
Yeah, I'm not going to be doing it like that. Mostly it'll be about me going, oh, fuck, I fucked it up. Fuck it. Damn it. Shit. Fuck. So people will enjoy that.
Now, just another perspective thing for Australia. So Victoria here. So this little state here that I think we can all agree, regardless of what part of Australia we're in, we hate. Everyone hates Victoria. That's the size of Texas. Well, actually, I think it's bigger than Texas. So it's just that little. Yeah. So that puts in perspective. It's a big place. Australia's pretty big.
I've driven across the Nullarbor from Victoria. Now that we're talking about Victoria, from Melbourne back to Perth, and it takes about if you do it virtually non-stop, apart from sleep, it takes 3.5 days.
Now, and that Nullarbor, that's the big desert in the middle of Australia.
Basically, there's a stretch of road across the Nullarbor that is 400 k's of no turns. It's just a straight stretch of fucking road. You've driven it, haven't you, Chris?
No, I've actually never been.
You haven't driven it.
I've never been.
Do it at least once. No. It's fucking mental.
I've never been over to WA. It's I've actually just came back from Queensland. That was an interesting experience. So I flew. My cousin, he's had this cursed wedding. So the wedding was originally set for just over a year ago, and the day before I was meant to leave is when the lockdown started. So that's it. Couldn't get into Queensland. Weddings got cut back. You're only allowed to have 5 people at a wedding, which was the 2 people getting married, the celebrant, and 2 witnesses, which were generally a photographer and someone else. So that was the first time. So they rescheduled the wedding for January. They rescheduled it, and then in New South Wales we had an outbreak of the nasty cold that's going around. And when I say outbreak, I think, what do we have? About 15 cases I think. So that shut down, like you couldn't get across the border, so had to cancel it again. So anyway, last Friday I've flown up to Queensland. The day I fly up, they have a case in Brisbane, which is where I flew into. I've driven across to Toowoomba, and while I'm there, all of us are watching it, just expecting borders are about to get shut down. I flew back on the Monday. While I'm sitting at the airport, I had 4 hours at the airport. I'm watching states, because they had 5 more cases, and I'm watching states close their borders to Queensland while I'm in the air, flying back to Sydney. The entire everything just changed. So we got met by health officials, police. I was the first off the plane, and it took me half an hour to get through like interviews. I had to, show that I hadn't been in Brisbane. Otherwise, they were putting me into quarantine, or making me go home and quarantine. It was insane. So to put it in perspective, for those in the US, that was for 5 cases. 5. No, those were the first cases I think we had in something like 75 days. So whenever I hear about all the stuff going on, like your politicians on both sides are idiots in the US. Like seriously, like just fucking get it sorted. Get it sorted. Now I've been asked, so is Ohio a bad thing? Because people are asking if Victoria is the Ohio of Australia. Is Ohio good or bad?
Well, if you're from Michigan, Ohio sucks.
Okay. Yeah, well, in that case, yeah, Victoria's kind of like... there's always been between Sydney and Melbourne, there's always been this rivalry because, like we were the original city and they try and do everything better, and yeah, they always fail. But then most of the sports teams in the rest of the country compete with Melbourne teams. So they hate Melbourne. Everyone hates Melbourne. Everyone hates Melbourne, but it's a nice city. It's like a New York, Los Angeles thing. What is gun rack?
You know what a gun rack is?
It's the holder in the back of a pickup truck. Like most rednecks put it in on their back window to hold all their rifles and shotguns and everything.
Okay. Well, we don't actually have pickups. So we do. It's like we call them utes.
Yeah.
But there's like your Hilux or your Ford Ranger, things like that. So rather than the big, F series trucks that you all have over there, but
F-150s or the
yeah, I mean you can get them, but there's not. It's not common to see them. So I think your petrol over there's a lot cheaper. So
I've had 2 donations so far. One from Jeff. Thank you so much, Jeff. And I won't tell you the other person is because they did ask me not to, but I've already messaged them and said thank you. So I'm less than $20 off $1,500 now.
Hey, awesome!
So
well, if anyone's got a spare 20, help Jen. So Jesus.
So thank you to the 2 people who did donate. I did send a private thank you to the other person, but I'm not going to say who it was because they didn't want me to.
So Peter's just asked how the Storm was going. Now, when you say how's Storm going this year, I don't know if you're talking about the Melbourne-based football team who are going shit, which is awesome, or if you're talking about we actually had some pretty nasty flooding over on my side of the country. So if we're not having droughts and bushfires, it's flooding. I got some really cool photos actually. I'm going to chuck some of them up on Twitter when I was flying up to Brisbane. Some really cool.
Did you already
really
post
cool?
one of
this
those?
is flooding.
Didn't
on
you
Facebook,
post one?
On Facebook, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're in my super secret special Facebook group. So.
Oh, sweet.
Although I haven't really been on Twitter apart from today, and that was just, yeah. I'll get canned from Twitter tomorrow, I'm sure. I don't have the right group think for Twitter, so. But yeah, I got some interesting pictures of like the flooded areas, like the floods were receding and things like that. And yeah, it's actually
surely Ed's had more bans on Twitter than you've had.
Oh yeah, it gets banned all the time. I love it.
Ed's had more than me now, which is amazing.
Do you know how really disconcerting it is for me as a conservative on Twitter, that I've never copped a ban, yet Ed gets banned all the time. I mean, what is up with that? Again, I feel like I'm failing.
I've been banned once.
Well, yeah. To be honest, I've only been banned once.
It's once more
Only
than me.
once?
Yeah.
I thought it was.
Yeah.
I thought it was 3 times now, Ed. Oh, okay.
No. Well, I took myself off the one time. I just had a freaking meltdown and
Yeah,
But self-imposed ban.
yeah, but I've actually only been banned on Twitter once, and that was for posting a news article about Joe Biden promising
Yeah, I remember that.
$2,000 checks.
Yeah.
Okay, so hang on, and that's the thing. Like, it's actually that's something that was in the news today. I don't know if you got the news over in the US, because I know your news is like more censored than North Korea. But Donald Trump's voice is banned from Facebook.
No, I hadn't heard that.
Right.
What?
Okay. So Donald Trump was interviewed by someone. They posted the clip onto Facebook. It wasn't talking about anything at all out of the ordinary, just usual kind of Trump drivel. Facebook pulled it down because Facebook has banned Trump, and they cut it out saying that Donald Trump's voice is banned from Facebook.
That's
It's censorship. But here's the irony. Now, okay, Facebook do that kind of stuff. Now, Facebook, for all their chest beating and all that kind of stuff, they dodge tax by being a registered company in Ireland. And I know that because I ran a social media business, and every time I had the invoice come through, it was from Facebook Ireland.
Wow.
So it's yeah. And Scum of the Dragons have been doing well. It's tough. It's tough. I did watch them. It's hard. It's the 100 years of the Dragons. So I've been buying some pretty cool 100-year gear. It's like district stuff. It's
okay. I just looked up the Trump thing. So Laura Trump, the wife of Eric Trump, posted on Instagram emails that she said were from Facebook. The message said, "Removed content from Laura Trump's Facebook page that featured President Trump speaking. In line with the block we placed on Donald Trump's Facebook and Instagram accounts, further content posted in the voice of Donald Trump will be removed and result in additional limitations of the accounts."
Oh, wow.
wow.
Yep. It's like, seriously, it's North Korea over there. If you don't think the right way in the US, like, it's you want to talk about freedoms. Like, your freedoms are seriously being trodden on by these tech giants. Like, they are determining. Now, look, Trump's a douche. Like, everyone agrees. I'm a conservative, and I would say Trump's a douche. And it was I think even before the election, I said I think Biden's a better option. And part of that was because I just think Trump was too divisive, and I think you just need a little bit of normality in the US. Which, that being said, you voted for the bloke who can't even walk upstairs. So, bring on President Kamala. But just the censorship. I mean, like, Trump, whether you hate him or not, he was a president of the United States who at the last election received the second most votes for any president ever. And these people, you can't ban that. I mean, it's not like he's not a fascist or a Yahtzee, because you can't say the actual version, it'll get brought down. He's not any of those things. He's a douche, but he's not as big a douche as they made out in the American media. Like, I saw some of the American media stuff. Like, it is censorship. But then you've only got like politically charged versions on both sides. Like, Fox is crap. Well, that's garbage. But then it's just the counter to CNN and MSNBC, which is the same. It's all garbage. They've picked their team, and it's just like they're cheerleaders. They're not actually news channels. They're cheerleader channels for the individual parties and groups. But it's like, but the big tech censorship, because that is how we all communicate now. Like, let's be honest. If it wasn't for social media, none of us likely would have ever met.
Now, here's the biggest problem, though. When they do this with the orange idiot, whatever you want to call them, they're proving these other groups, Proud Boys, QAnon, and everybody else, they're proving them right.
Yeah, 100%.
They're making them look legit.
I mean, when Trump comes out and goes, fake news, they're trying to censor me, that's actually not him being a crazy person, because it's what's happening. And it's crazy. I mean, you know what? It's for a country that values freedom and freedom of speech so much. I mean, God, get it out there. Like, if the best way to have bad ideas is to bring them to light so people can disagree with them. It's like, well, you don't ban the Flat Earth Society. Let's listen to them. Let's have Hovind out there. Hovind on.
Hold on. Wait, we got a problem in the chat with this guy Sam. Why are you trying to kill me? I don't even know you.
Well, no. In all fairness, Sam said to put the corn soda in. If he wanted to kill you, he would have said the bacon. Bacon does go with coffee.
Or ranch.
No, bacon goes with coffee. In the morning, you have your coffee with your bacon. Mix it in. Give it a bit of a swirl. Let's see what happens.
Hey.
No.
That's coffee. You know what coffee is, right?
I guess I'm about to find out.
Blasphemy against coffee. I will smite you.
Oh no, I've been smited by God. It's all over. It is all over.
That's it. You're canceled.
Oh, I so wish Ed actually had smiting powers. They'd come in fucking handy.
Oh man, no, there'd be no one left. That'd be it. You'd just be like, "You're smited." Okay, so I want to cut over to you, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
You did something a couple of months ago now that was pretty interesting, and I'll be honest, I didn't get it at the time, but I think I can see the merit in it. I want to talk to you about your vow of silence. Okay. So for anyone who didn't see, do you want to run through exactly what you did?
Well, I took a 10-day vow of silence, which means I no talking, no social media, no typing, nothing like that. The only time I talked was when I was at work, because obviously there's times I have to talk, just due to work. But other than that, no, I stayed off the computer and the phone, other than like TikTok, because I just watched, stupid videos there.
Because he's addicted to TikTok.
Oh, I fucking love TikTok. Dude, some of it's Raven's like, it was wonderful. But yeah, no, he wasn't singing. Shush, woman. Trollop. Anyways, so yeah, I took a 10-day vow of silence and just did some inner reflection and whatnot. It was really good. It was the weirdest thing. I had no stress whatsoever. The stress was just gone.
So Raven didn't have any stress either. It was just
yeah, she didn't have any stress. There was a little bit of it was kind of hard with the communication with her at first. But
yeah, but I mean, in all fairness, when you give her that look and pull the glasses down and go, I think she knows what that means.
But yeah, it was really good. I realized that I don't know anything, and that probably for me was the biggest. Revelation is not the right word, but I think you understand what I mean. It was the biggest realization for me is that I know nothing. And to think about the fact that, I used to think, I knew all this and I knew this. And, I realized I know nothing because I listened to everything. When you don't talk back and forth, you don't communicate with people and you just listen, you realize there's so much is being said that you don't actually hear when you're actually talking back and forth with somebody. So yeah, it was good. I'm think I'm gonna do it again, but I don't think I'll do like a 10-day. I'm thinking like like a long 3-day weekend or something. But I'm actually thinking about doing when it's warmer, and do like a little small camping trip type thing with my either by myself or with Raven, just go out into the woods for 3 days and, just unplug from everything.
He's got to meditate and sit with nature and then get eaten by a bear.
Yeah.
Because you've been on a pretty interesting journey, like in the last sort of 18 months, 2 years I've known you. Like I remember when I first met you, you were very much a secular Buddhist, which was you like the teachings, not so much the spiritual side of things, but you've had a massive shift, and it seems to have actually done you a lot of good.
Yeah, there's some things when I actually started reading the actual Pali Canon, whatnot, and the teachings of what Buddha actually said. And, because everybody kind of knows what Buddha said, for a lot of things, because you can just Google it. But when you actually read and listen to what he's actually saying, there's a lot of things that you realize is just it's to think that this was 2,500 years. Well, it's almost 4,500 years now because he was 2,500 years before, BC.
It can't be that long. The universe isn't that old.
No.
So
no. He was only about 500 BC.
No. 2,500.
You sure?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was 2,500.
No,
you're right. No, you're right because it's been around for 2,500 years. Yep.
Yeah. So can I ask you? So to ask you a question, as someone who's read, what's Buddha's stance on slavery? I mean, what instructions does he give as far as how to treat your slaves?
You don't own anybody. You don't own anything.
So then how do you know how to treat your slaves? I mean, clearly the Bible.
You don't have
slaves.
You don't have slaves.
See, this is why the Bible is better, because you get these instructions. There's a lot missing, obviously, from the.
My turn.
So I'm gonna have to be rude, people, because I have more boxes to pack. But I'm so glad we're back and doing this.
Hell yeah, and we will be. We might wrap it up anyway, because we're sort of getting close to that hour and a half mark.
Oh, if you're going to wrap up, I'll let Jay finish what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Well,
hang on. I'll mute Jen for you.
Well, no. What I was going to say was that, because even in the Christian Bible has some stuff that you can relate to today that still will.
Yeah.
And to think the stuff that Buddha talked about 2,500 years ago relates hugely now. If you actually read what he says, not just go off what you can find on Google, but actually get in and read what he actually said. There's a lot of things that you just go, huh. And that's kind of what happened to me as I was reading the canons, and things would just start going, huh, that makes a lot of sense. So
I think you do get a lot of wisdom in some of these old, and I think the ones that have survived are probably the ones that have got some of the best wisdom. I mean, I've not Christianity plenty, but there is some good stuff in there. I mean, there's some decent stuff. It's not all about slavery and killing Midianites and all that kind of stuff. Like there's some decent lessons you can take out of it. There's some shit as well, and you've got to way past the spiritual side of things. But I think I know certainly with there's you don't meet too many angry Buddhists.
Yeah, well, there's a difference because in Buddhism you actually have you have the layman, which is myself, and then you have the I can't think of what they're called right off. I had a little too much to drink. All
that ranch is going to your head.
Yeah, the actual
it's probably go to his toilet later.
The actual monks, the actual Buddhist monks that you actually see in the temples with the shaved heads and the only the one sleeve. The difference between the two is almost two different religions based on the same concepts. Because
so is it like a Catholic Protestant thing, or
no, it's more like a we'll stick with the Catholic. It's more like a Catholic priest and like maybe just somebody that like a street evangelist type thing. Where the Catholic priests, they have a strict order that they have to obtain to, where the street preacher can spout basically and believe whatever he wants.
So it's just like the Pope and Hovind.
A little like what?
The Popenhoven.
Yeah. There you go. Because the
So you're a Hoven.
big boat or little boat? I don't get that one, but
I don't get that one either. But it depends on the waters. I will, big boats, little boats, depends on the waters. I've been on both, so. But yeah, no, it's been a lot of different. It's been a long road, and it's been an eye-opening road. I know
that's good.
my stress level isn't completely gone, but it's almost completely gone. I mean, I don't get stressed out.
Well, it wasn't until you drunk bacon soda.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh, the good Lord can't help you with that one.
You need to end it with a swig.
No, not going to happen. But I do have some news. Myself and Raven have actually been talking. We may actually be putting out a legit podcast.
Oh, brilliant!
Okay,
all right.
Not a video podcast, but like a legit. Drop it on like iTunes, Spotify, stuff like that.
Yeah, nice.
So we'll keep an eye out on that. We're still trying to work out kinks and try to figure out what's going on. But that will be about like everything. True crime, mysteries, aliens, backgrounds on stories, serial killers, just the stuff that we enjoy. So
what about serial killing aliens that are committing true crimes now?
Look up Kyle Odom.
How did I know you would actually have one?
Look up the Alien Manifesto of Kyle Odom.
I'm gonna get Bobby Mack onto that.
Yeah,
I'll get Bobby Mack onto that. I think I'm slowly convincing him to come back for conspiracies or two. So,
that was the other thing. I will be going back to doing conspiracies on my channel.
Awesome,
nice,
awesome. I like it.
I'm gonna change out how I was doing them before. I'm thinking of doing here's the background on it, and this is what people think, and this, that, and the other. Give my take on the end of it. Whether I think they're because some conspiracy theories turned out to be true, and some are more believable than others. So it's like
the Earth is flat.
Yeah. So is it is it plausible? Is it not plausible? Kind of like a Mythbusters, but with conspiracy theories.
Because I remember I think it might have been the last conspiracies we did, and it was on Bigfoot, and it really surprised me that your take on Bigfoot. Mm-hmm. I sort of stepped back and went, all right, wasn't expecting that. Where do we go from here?
Yeah.
So it's I'll find the link to that after and
not all. I see. I don't believe in all cryptids, but there's some cryptids out there that I can see are plausible that exist.
See, I'd like someone to look into, or maybe this is one you can do. The what's his name? The English bloke. He used to be and Jeff, if you're still there, or maybe even Dave. He used to be like a football commentator.
David Icke.
Possibly. David Icke, yes. Okay.
The master of conspiracy theories. Yeah, David Icke. Ike will be, as I like to call him, Ike. He will be in the running there because Ike's got some weird ass. I mean, at one point
I keep coming across people who want to push his stuff, and I'm just like, no, but I don't know enough about it.
At one point, Ike came on TV and said he was Jesus, and the Queen's a lizard person.
Oh, I've heard the Queen's a lizard person.
Yep. So,
no, see, you don't say nasty things about the Queen. No one should ever knock the Queen. She's wonderful. Love the Queen. God save the Queen.
There's no fucking anybody else will.
I like the Queen. I like the Royals. I like some of the Royals.
About time we became a republic, Chris.
I agree. We should be a republic, but I still like the Royals. I like all bar.
I like them over there.
I can think of three Royals I don't like. One, two of them live in the US, and one of them had some dodgy friends. We'll say, but the rest are all right. Anyway,
Anyway,
well, I think we'll wrap it up. We're at the hour and a half mark. All right. So next week, if you are if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button, because I'm getting closer to that magical 1,000 mark. I would love to hit the 1,000 at some point soon. I've got my 40th birthday coming up, actually. I know it's hard to believe, but my 40th is coming up in June. I would love to hit 1,000 before my 40th.
you're still a baby.
I love it. See, this is why I have you guys on, because it's like, you make me and Jen look young. It's great. It's true. It's true. But
We are young, Chris. It's all Jay's problem.
oh, I know. It's the good fresh water we have here in Australia, and lack of colds. But yeah, so if oh yeah, we don't have him. Do you know he originally tried to start the casino in Sydney and got knocked back?
Did he?
Years ago. Yeah, he bid for.
That would have been a failure, because that's typically
It's actually in his book, The Art of the Deal. He talks about how he'd been over to Australia to negotiate, and he thinks he's going to get the casino. He didn't get it.
No.
Yeah, it's all fun. Sorry, that was just a bit of a side note. But yeah, so look, if you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. It would mean the world to me. The bird is the word. The world to me. If you could do that, and maybe tell a friend to subscribe, hit the like, put a comment in the comments, because it all helps the algorithm and gets it out there. Next week, the channel name should have changed. It will probably be Hereticals / Atheist Pastor, just so too many people don't get confused. But like I said earlier, the Atheist Pastor is no more, even though my Twitter handle is still Atheist Pastor, and this is still YouTube / Atheist Pastor. Those things can't be changed. But
you can change your Twitter handle.
Can I? Well, there you go.
Yeah, you can change it.
Well, I might do that, but that's next week's problem. Look, in the meantime, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to be me.
And we're back at a reasonable time again, back at 6:30 instead of 5:30 in the United States.
Yeah. I've got some really good news for you for next week, because we're in a funny spot at the moment where the daylight savings sort of overlaps. Daylight savings ends for me this weekend, so it will actually be another hour. So I think it will be. So it started at 6, so it'll be 7:30 in the morning start for those of you in the. So everyone can get up and drink with us. But what?
Fair enough.
I meant the bacon. So
no, good God, no!
Bacon.
That's never again.
I love
Now-
we'll find some. That's just going to get clipped and used.
Are you going to do any more streams?
Am I going to be doing more streams? I don't know.
Don't know?
I'm not sure. I want to do some.
Are you going to join me Saturday night? Doing an impromptu What the Fuck show, which will probably end up doing a whole heap of different things that I've done over the years as part of the fundraising thing. So there'll be something to debunk. There'll be other fun shit that we'll talk about and things like that. So
yeah, I could probably. That's tomorrow.
I will shoot out invites to people to hop in and be part of.
You're looking at tomorrow night?
Yes.
Yeah, and everyone, if you haven't subscribed to everyone here, subscribe to everyone here.
Go and subscribe to us, and go and donate to my fundraiser.
Now, can I ask you a question, Ed? How much does it cost to subscribe to your YouTube channel?
Absolutely zero.
Great.
His OnlyFans is a little different.
Yeah. OnlyFans
I'm pretty sure.
Old dude is
I
$4.99
think Gary's getting all the money from that one. But
Yeah, well, on a side note, there though, it does only cost $1 to subscribe to my Patreon. And I will be having more stuff on there really soon.
That is a bargain and a half. But look, it costs nothing to hit the subscribe button. I guess that's the point I'm making. You know what? It's good. It helps us out. I mean, there's not a lot that you get for doing this stuff. It's a little bit, but you know what? Every little bit helps, especially with what's going on in the world at the moment. I think the big tech corporations have got enough money. They can give us a little bit of it. So it's
you better highlight what Jeff put up. so that people know where to go to Ed's OnlyFans.
God damn it.
All right. Well, on that note, is anyone got anything you want to plug quickly? Or
Oh, the only thing I was gonna say was, I want to do live streams again. I got to figure out what I want to do with them. Because like I said, I enjoy talking with everybody, and I do miss those. It's just I don't want to do the same thing over and over and over again. You know,
Well,
it was getting to the point where it was so hard to find something to talk about, and so
You and I
And
need to set
only
up a
so much
time.
want to talk about idiots online.
What's that, Ed?
You and I need to set up a time and have a discussion about the Iceman.
Oh yeah, we do need to do that. Yeah, Mr. Gaklinski.
yeah, he flew with Maverick.
Yeah, yeah, that one. Oh,
Aren't they
speaking
making
of,
a second one of them now?
speaking
made
of, since
Almost.
we since a movie was mentioned, I forgot to mention this.
Sorry. Yeah, you know what? The chat never lets me down. The chat never ever lets
is
me
always
down.
good
It is
for stuff like that.
it's wonderful. It's a brilliant thing.
So if anybody happens to have HBO Max, make sure you watch the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. Oh my God,
yeah.
that was so good. Don't
How
watch
good was
Kong
that?
versus Godzilla.
Yeah.
I want to watch that, but I don't know if I need to watch the Kong or the Godzilla or what Kong or Godzilla movies to watch before.
Watch Godzilla, then watch Godzilla King of the Monsters, then watch Skull Island. And then you'll get a good grasp of what's going on in Godzilla versus Kong.
Mhm.
But I only gave it a 3 out of 5 because the fight scenes between Kong and Godzilla were fantastic. The storyline, not so much.
So is it worth watching though?
It's worth watching, but don't expect a lot.
Okay, so if you're just expecting a mid-range action flick, you'll be happy.
Yeah, because
So if you're expecting Godzilla to fight Kong,
they throw down. They throw down.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So
Right.
it's like I said, the fight scenes were phenomenal. Just the storyline in the middle wasn't so great.
See, I'll back up what you said about the Snyder cut of Justice League. Phenomenal. It felt like it was like a comic book. Oh, look,
it was so good. And what I liked about it, it's done in 6 parts, so you don't have to sit down and watch the whole 4 hours at once.
But you will.
But you will.
You will, yeah.
You
See,
know.
the only thing, I don't know, did you guys see what happened with Zack Snyder and Geeks and Gamers?
I heard something, but I don't sure what it was.
So fucking uncool. Okay, so like, and I'll keep this really short because we will wrap it up. But basically, what had happened was Geeks and Gamers had organized like a massive fundraiser because for those who don't know, the reason that there was a Snyder cut was because Snyder originally did it. His daughter sadly passed away while he was filming it. Anyway, Geeks and Gamers did it was a huge fundraiser for Zack Snyder's one of his charities that deals with suicide prevention. Anyway, he's come onto a stream with a few of the people from Geeks and Gamers, and just because they happen to have things that are outside the Twitter bubble views, nothing bad. Like they supported Gina Carano when she got sacked from Disney, things like that. So reasonably normal, mainstreamish kind of views on most things. But he just basically came out and made a point of, and distanced on their stream while they're doing on a stream with a few of the people from it while they're doing a fundraiser for him. And it was just woke bullshit. And I'm glad I saw the movie before I saw that, because that possibly would have ruined the movie for me. Like I maybe would have gone into it with expecting something else. But it was a phenomenal movie, and I genuinely hope that the Snyderverse continues, but I don't think it will.
So I do want to mention something to Jen though. I finally got to watch Doctor Who with what's her face? Whittaker.
Yeah,
Jodie
no, I
Whittaker.
got a mental break with
Jodie Whittaker.
Jodie Whittaker. Yeah,
The first season sucked. It was so bad.
it had its good moments.
The
but
last
yes,
two
there were
episodes.
less.
The last 2 episodes were good.
I will agree with you that it was too much of a mixed bag the first
Yeah.
season to really get into it. That had
And-
more to do with the writing than her, though. I thought she was
Yeah.
good.
She's a great actress.
Yeah,
And
I loved her in
I
Broadchurch.
was not against them having a female doctor. What
No,
I mean,
no, the
we're
problem
talking
is
about a TV show about a.
Chibnall can't write to save himself.
Yeah.
It's just it was terrible, and they retcon the entire backstory.
Oh,
All for virtue signaling fucking bullshit. Like,
And she
seriously,
doesn't.
I
The
fucking
one
hate that.
thing, they traveled from each doctor, from Eccleston to Tennant to Smith to Capaldi, was when he got an idea, he got so excited.
yeah.
She doesn't have that.
Oh, see,
No,
some of the
she
older doctors,
does in the second
some of the
season,
older
definitely.
doctors, yeah. I mean, look, I guess the good thing is they all do have a unique character. I just thought that what I saw of it, I really struggled. I missed a lot of it, and I love Doctor Who. I mean, my daughter, well, one of my daughter's middle names was, from one of the companions from Doctor Who. But it was hard.
Yeah,
It
so
was
I'm
so
starting
hard.
the second season with her now.
You will
and-
love the second season is quite strong, and it's definitely better than the first one. You will get to the end of the second season with the ending shows, and you will go, assholes,
Yeah.
fucking assholes. If you can forget that you've watched the last episode, probably more so than anything else, you can go, yeah, it was a pretty good season. That last episode fucks it all
That's
up.
what I hear is that the second season with her was so much better than the first, because the first,
Yeah.
I would really like to see what she could do with like Moffat or Davies.
You get
Yeah.
a decent
Oh,
set
yeah.
of writers behind her, and you will find that it was really good. But there's a good chance.
I've heard she's done though. I think she's done.
Yeah,
I thought she had
they
one
are.
more season.
Yeah, well, she only agreed to do the next season, so she'll do 3 like the others did, and she'll be gone.
Yeah, well, I mean, they can
Right.
always do a Christmas special regeneration.
Yeah, they'll
Yeah.
probably do a Christmas special regen after this season, and then they'll have somebody else. So at some point this year, expect to hear who the next Doctor's going to be, because I think that's probably the way that's going to go.
My money is on the biggest virtue signal yet.
My actual money is on not doing a regeneration scene, and actually putting Doctor Who on hiatus for 4 or 5 years.
I want him to. I want the
put it
next
past the
Doctor.
BBC to do that. I know. I actually think they might do it.
I want the next Doctor to be an alien.
I reckon the next Doctor should be an American. Just for
Oh,
the
that'd be.
giggles.
Oh,
No, no. Oh no.
they would get so much shit for that.
No. Under no circumstances should that. No.
Or a black guy. Or girl.
Yeah. So long as it's the right.
Yeah, it's got to
The
be
right
the right.
actor. It has to be
It's
the
got to
right
be.
actor.
It's got to be the right actor, and it's got to be done for the right. I think if you're doing it for the sake of doing it, I think it diminishes.
Oh, I agree. You have to have the person
it's-
for the role.
Yeah, it's if they're doing it because it's like we were talking about before with the virtue. It's a virtue signal. It's I want them to pick. Like there's some brilliant actors of color, or I guess non-white English actors in England. But there's a lot of options. Just pick the best person for the role, and if it's a white person, great. If it's maybe even like there's a massive, or they say Asian, but Indian population in the UK.
I still want Yantu. Torchwood.
Yeah. Well,
Yantu Jones.
the thing that you're going to like about season 2 is Jack is back.
I know. I seen the. I got the spoiler for that because I follow John Barrowman on like everything.
John Barrowman is awesome.
I love him.
You have to go to last
One of the
year's
Hemsworths, yeah.
special to really see him in his element again, and it's
Yeah.
really the New Year special from this year was absolutely awesome. It really was good. It made up somewhat for the shit that they had before. I just kind of hope they ignore what they did and pretend they never did it.
Well, they've got a time machine. They can wipe it.
They can wipe it, or as David said in the chat, just pretend that the master lied, and most of it's not. You
That
could
works-
still
that
have a
works
reason for. I'm going to spoil it for Jay if I keep fucking talking.
Yeah, just
I'll shut up now.
Yeah.
we might do maybe you know what we could maybe we can watch it and we can review it together. We can have a bit of fun with that. Have a bit of fun with that. Yeah. Anyway,
All right.
hour 45. Jen's got to go do shit.
I gotta go do shit.
I gotta go eat.
Let's wrap it up. Everyone, see you back here next week. Friday Night Six Pack is back. The Atheist Pastor is gone, but Six
Monday.
Pack is alive.
Monday morning, 8:00 on my channel. I should have the girlfriend.
Stop talking over me, Ed.
You're hoping to get Deidre on?
Yeah, hoping to get Deidre on Monday, 8 in the morning. We'll see how it goes. We've been DMing back and forth. If she can't be any more respectful, her.
That's not me. I'm not.
That's actually not me either.
Yeah, no, seriously, we're not.
Okay.
It actually wasn't me.
Yeah, I didn't touch it.
If
Well, it wasn't
she
me. I don't
can't-
have access.
if she can't be respectful, it's not going to happen. But it should be Monday, 8 a.m. I'll have her on my channel for a discussion.
So
Yeah. Next week as well, don't forget for those of you in the States, it will be 7:30
7:30
a.m. Eastern time because daylight savings is doing good things for all of you.
Yeah.
Cool.
cool.
All right. And just to answer hashtag TOB, yeah, we had a bit of rain. We had a lot of rain here. My backyard looked like a swimming pool at one point, but the floods weren't too bad in my part of the world. But I did get some pretty good photos from the air of up your way, and heard from some people who had a bit of a tough time. But yeah. Anyway, on that note, see everyone next week if I don't see you all before. Have a good night, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good whatever it is, wherever the hell you are on this beautiful globe or flat earth, depending on your preference, that we all occupy. See you.
Sam, if you scroll up a little bit, Ed's channel is in the chat.